right, so he's got a pretty long spine. I'm going to work most of the spinal erector muscles, as well as the shoulder girdle, subscap, down to his lower sacrum. To warm up the body, I just want to say hello by slightly applying pressure with a cat paw. This also allows you as a therapist to see if he's got some inflammation on one side versus the other. And he does have a little more inflammation on the right side, so we're going to go ahead and work this angle. So to start off with, I'm using about 40 to 50%, and I'm really staying connected with his body through the forearms all the way to the end of the fingers. So start with the forearm, and fully connected all the way through the fingers. I'm going to work that spinal erector muscle with the palm of my hand, just by shaking the body a little bit. I've got a little bit of a pop there. Keep both hands connected at both times. Now I'm going to go in with my elbow and I'm going to work that spinal erector muscle all the way to the top. I rock and shift just to soften up the trigger point for him. I can hold that trigger point anywhere from 3 to 5 seconds. I'm feeling a little bit of resistance in this pocket here, which tells me there's some tightness in the shoulder girdle. So I'm going to hold that spot a little longer. You can often see if the body's reactive. I'm seeing him resist that pressure a little bit, so I'm going to pull back. Wait for him to find his breath. Take a deep breath. As he exhales, I'm going to sink into it. So I'm still not done with the spine, but I really want to see what's going on with his SI joint, which is here into the spinal erector. So I'm going to start at the attachment. Go straight for that spinal erector. You can see when I start to approach it. To stabilize the pressure, I'm going to place my hand on my chin so it doesn't slide off. Shift and rock, slow and controlled. All right, so now I'm going to start to work the attachments to the spinal erectors, but only with the shoulder girdle. I'm going to work the rhomboids, which are right here, underneath the scapula, across the shoulder blade into the teres. So I'm going to start here. I'm using about 30 to 40% of pressure, waiting to see if I get any reaction from his muscle at 30 or 40%. Seem to be okay, so I'm going to go ahead and apply a little bit more pressure. Feels like I can get a little deeper. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to externally rotate his arm, pull it back behind him. I'm going to go in with my forearm, and I'm going to hook my elbow underneath the scapula. Really slow and controlled, short movements, shifting movements. Getting a lot of pulsating underneath, which tells me that he's really tight underneath there. So we're going to rep this out a couple more times. Most of your clients can control their own breath. You just want to be aware of where they're at. If they're quick breaths, that means they're really struggling to let go. So you may want to pull back on some of that pressure. If his breath starts to slow down, that means we're in a good spot. Now I'm going to go for the teres, minor and major, which are two muscles that come across and wrap around towards the rotator cuff. I call this stripping down the muscle. So I'm going to glide across. Not a fun spot for most people. It can be really tender. So I want to work anywhere between a 20 to 50% as far as pressure goes. And as I'm gliding across, I'm applying a little bit of traction with the opposite arm so that we're lengthening the tissue. So now we're going to increase the range. I'm going to pin it and then we're going to stretch it. So I'm going to pin the teres. I'm going to grab the arm on the opposite side. Increase that range as I slide. Again, just pay attention to his breath. It's pretty heavy right now, which means it may be intense for the client. You can determine whether or not you want to pull back 10%, 15, 20%. So for an injury specific, if it was a rotator cuff, I would go in a little bit deeper with the elbow. But it can be really tender with the elbow, so I'm going to go about 20%. I'm going to pin it. Breath is starting to increase, so I'm just going to hold it. Wait till it starts to slow down. All right, so now I'm going to do a little bit of cupping around this shoulder girdle. And that is just to draw in blood flow. The biggest question I get is, what does cupping actually do and why does it leave the marks? What it's doing is, as I apply the suction, it's opening up the space for blood flow to continue to shoot through. The discoloration will just determine how much blood flow they're lacking to the area. So it may be different on the top of the shoulder versus the lower part, but we'll find out. So I'm going to go anywhere from 2 to 3 pumps. You want it relatively tight. So anywhere between 2, 3, or 4 is good, but we're just going to stick to 3 today. Most of the time the body temperature will shift a little bit and it will get warmer. You can already see what spots are starting to get darker. We have this one here and these here. I'm going to place one right here. And to get some more effective work inside the connective tissue, we're going to go ahead and continue to lengthen. So I'm going to grab his arm, I'm going to reach underneath, I'm going to secure it, I'm going to stretch out the arm. Hold here. Grip underneath and apply a little bit of traction. I felt like he had pretty good mobility, so I'm just extending the reach. And again, you can see the color shifting on his shoulder. Some spots are getting darker. I typically don't like to leave them on longer than 5 minutes. You can already see that we're getting some effective work here. Depending on the client, you can either be done with this treatment in this area or you can extend it to the next modality. I'm going to go ahead and do that. So this is just another form of scraping. I just use the cups as a way to do that as opposed to just using a Graston tool. So I'm going to go ahead and slide them. Really slow and controlled. Seems to be okay. I'm not getting a whole lot of reaction, so I'm going to continue. Again, just move slow and controlled. The faster you move, the more uncomfortable it can be for the client. And I'm sliding it in this direction so that we're getting that connective tissue away from that shoulder girdle. It's like peeling off that tight connective tissue that is built up around the attachments. His breath has gotten a little heavier, so we are creating some more blood flow. Now you see I don't want to pull without pinning the skin down. So I'm going to hold it and pull. You're just going to pull, pop that off. So I've just created some space to move the cups into. I'm going to pull through. Slide it all the way down. This one seems to be holding a lot, so I'm going to go ahead and release that without sliding it. Same with that one. And in our next round, if we continue to do the pumping in the same areas and that's not holding up so much, then I may consider sliding them then. So each time you slide it, a little bit of air starts to go inside and it'll kind of just come up on its own.